let's start out with an informal greeting from me to you. What's happening? How's it going? Hashtag Ask Stacy Live #4. Welcome. We're back. Today I've got some questions that I'm gonna answer on live stream as usual. I go on Facebook Live in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you go on live stream on Facebook Live, and the questions that I ask on there, I give advice on there, is gonna be on here. And by the way, Itzy's gonna be here to me for some of the video, and I'm just gonna have to leave soon. Itzy's here now.
Hi.
I got asked to get you know my signature, my silly funky signature, and to take a picture of it and send it to her. So that's what I'm gonna do here, and this is gonna be proof that I'm actually doing it. Oh, that's ugly. It looks like a banana. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So this is what it looks like. Really horrible. I am not good at signing. You know how awesome it would be to be a that's one of my bucket list thingies. I want to be a mascot. I want to dress up, but not like a entire forever mascot. I just want to do I just want to be a mascot for the day, and I'd go up there and just dance and just be silly. I'll ask the one about Itzy. Listen up, everybody. I got a question anonymously, and it said, "Hi Stacey, I watched your video with Itzy called She Had a Change of Heart." That was a great video. And I was wondering, is your niece Itzy gay? She spoke about coming out in the LGBT community. Itzy, I'll allow you to answer this.
Okay. Well, I'm not exactly sure about my sexuality yet, but I don't think anyone really is until later in life because I'm still so young. The one thing that I do know is that I do love girls. I have had crushes on girls and fallen in love with girls before, but I do still like guys, so I don't know what I am yet, but I am gay, so hear it from me.
The whole thing is, I mean, again, with the point of no needing to label yourself, you just like what you like, pretty much. You love who you love. Love is love is love. She's currently still trying to figure herself out, but she knows that her heart is open to loving whoever it falls in love with, basically. Beth says, you be you, little lady. As long as there is love in your life, that's all that matters.
And that's one of the biggest things to me. As long as they respect me and they make me feel happy, then it doesn't matter what their gender is, or they're them and I am me, and I don't think that gender should have anything to do with that.
Very true. Wise words spoken by thy Itzy. Next, a questione for the choni. Okay, this one was interesting because I hadn't gotten anything like this before. I came out as bi some years ago. This is by Tumblr, by the way. I came out as bi some years ago, but in the last few months I realized that I'm a lesbian. My best friend is a bi activist. I used to be too. She's really passionate, and she's always saying stuff like, "I don't like it when gay people come out as bi and then they say they're actually gay. That's why bisexuals are not taken seriously." I know I'll disappoint her and some other bi friends, but I'm not comfortable with the label bisexual anymore. How do I tell them? Well, the one thing that I was thinking about, because when I was growing up, like in high school and stuff, a lot of people weren't as out as, you know, now they don't feel now they feel comfortable, but before, you know, it was a different story. When you say it gives bis a bad reputation, I feel like, to me personally, when I was growing up, and you know, there are people, unfortunately, that decide to say that they are just because it's the hip thing to do, the trend thing to do, and I think that's what gives bisexual men or female the bad rep, or whatever, you know, the bad name. It's sad because actual bisexual human beings who really are into both genders or whatever it is, because you know, there's so many different kinds of things of genders, and I'm not really well-rounded with that, so I don't really know, but whoever, they like who they like male and female. It's not even that, it's just the fact that like Itzy said, it doesn't have to, you don't have to find yourself out right away. It just comes with life. When you begin to, who knows, you could always think that you're straight, and then all of a sudden you have these humongous feelings for a woman, and then all of a sudden you're feeling like, hey, this lady's my life, or this woman is my life, I want to be with her forever. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're exactly a lesbian now, or all of a sudden, or now you're bisexual. It's whatever the hell you are. It shouldn't matter. And I think that is what you would need to relay to your friends, or that little bi community, or whatever it is that you guys, the activists or advocates, or whatever it is, and just be honest. And just, I think it's something that we need to educate, rather than let it be, or explain or stuff like that, or have, you know, if they get mad at you, then have them get mad at you. But the truth is, why are you even to me, I just feel why are you even being an activist, or trying to be an activist on something, if you're not going to be open to seeing all sides? You know what I mean? The truth of the matter is, it still doesn't change the fact that you're falling in love with another human being. It doesn't change the fact about any of that. It's just, I don't know, it just makes me kind of sad because it's like what they're fighting about, I just don't see, like, I don't get, like, why you're gonna classify all bisexuals to be that way or to have that bad name. But it's not just people who, or individuals who say that they're bi and then all of a sudden they're lesbian, or all of a sudden they're gay. It's not even that. It's just the fact that I feel like there just needs to be more, like, expressive talking going on and communication and just explaining that things can change and you don't have to classify yourself as one or the other or all of them or all of the above. It's just, that's the same thing with like having to put a label on yourself. It's because people are so caught up with labels and labeling each other that everybody thinks that every single person needs to be labeled. Like, well, not everybody thinks that, but I mean, it's like a huge thing that society is just like, the pressure to come out, the pressure to talk about it, the pressure to label yourself, the pressure with all these damn things that don't fucking matter. That's how I feel. I don't know. But anyways, if I had to give you advice, I would just say, talk openly about it and listen and tell, you know what, I honestly believed wholeheartedly that this was the reason why, you know, everybody was gonna start thinking that bisexual individuals continuously give them a bad name because all of a sudden they're lesbian, or because all of a sudden they're gay, or all of a sudden they're straight. But I come to find out, living in my own skin, that it's not true, that things change. And I've fallen for women, and I see myself in my heart with a woman, and being for the rest of my life with another woman. Like, just explain it. Just tell them everything you told me. Tell them that how you feel and how scared you were and how frightened you were, and, you know, like how uncomfortable you felt in the moment, and how you believed in that, and things change and your beliefs change. Your belief system is not always going to be 100% the same. You're at every right to believe and give your own opinion and have new opinions and do whatever the heck you want to do. You don't have to just abide by all the freaking rules, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how I feel. I don't know. I personally believe that explaining and being open and just having a heart-to-heart talk is the way to go when you're trying to explain it to somebody and you're trying to tell them. I mean, it's just much more than just being like, hey, I'm lesbian now, you know, because I think that's exactly another reason why people just write them off as like they're just liars, or they're giving us a bad name, but because they just willy-nilly just say it instead of actually explaining their heart and their feelings. And of course people say you don't have to explain everything, but if you really want to get your point across, you have to open up and explain and express your emotions and your feelings, because then nobody will understand, and that's miscommunication is what fucks things up a lot of the times. So I think that you should eliminate that and get to the point and just be open and talk. You have anything to say?
No, but I've got to go now.
You want to say?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I wanted to answer this question. Mia
go ahead.
asked how my mom felt about me. At first she wasn't really as open to it. She seemed kind of closed-minded, like, well, that's not how you're supposed to be. But then she got used to it more, and she never once said that I should change, even though she did not like it at first. And now she's still a little bit iffy about it, but she never really was mean about it, like, you should change, you can't be this way, this isn't you. And I respect her for that. I'm glad that she was like that.
My phone was at 5%, and I need to save battery so I can answer this question because I didn't get a chance to answer the last one. So the question says, hey Stacey, I need your advice. So lately I've been having this weird mixed feelings about my guy best friend. I met him a couple of years ago and we bonded intermediately. He was one of the first people I felt comfortable telling them all about my sexuality, lesbian. Similarly, he told me some of his own issues and trying to figure out his sexuality, bisexual. And now we are basically inseparable, and I'm having these romantic and physical feelings towards him. Don't know why I'm feeling this way. Help. Well, I think it's just the connection. I just feel like, I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be that you just feel comfortable. Maybe it could be that you just feel that closeness with him. Because you guys could understand each other and resolve, or try to resolve, or just talk openly about your issues that you may feel that you have, and just be open with each other. And I feel like maybe that's what you have, this close attachment. Or maybe you honestly are falling for him. Maybe you have developed feelings. Maybe your heart just feels in sync with his, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think it's the same thing with everything, is that you don't have to necessarily put a label on yourself. If you fall for a guy and you originally you thought that you were a lesbian or full-blown lesbian or whatever it is, and you just liked women, and all of a sudden here's a guy that you like, and you know, just let yourself love them. Just allow yourself to love, allow yourself to live, allow yourself to be happy. And it doesn't matter. And if people want to talk smack about you because you were a lesbian and all of a sudden you're gay, let them. They won't understand. They won't ever understand because one, it would take a lot of educating them about the situation, about the issue, about what's going on. It'd take a lot of explaining, and then of course you don't have to explain yourself unless you really want to and you want to make somebody understand, and you do need explaining, as I mentioned before. You also need to just forget about the rest that are antagonizing you and bringing like negativity to your life. Just allow yourself to live, allow yourself to be happy, and that's all that should matter. I don't think that you should ever have to worry about, oh my gosh, it's going to be seen wrong in the eyes of others. Well, who cares? A lot of things that you do are not going to be things that other people like, but it doesn't matter because it's not their life, it's your life. And I think we all need to remember that we live our own life, and if somebody doesn't like something, so be it. I'm sorry you don't like it. You know, I'm not going to conform the way I live. I'm not going to conform to your liking or whatever it is. Like, I'm not going to switch around my life just because you want it to be the certain way. I think that you should remember that, keep that in mind. And if you like them, then you like them, you know. Maybe why are you feeling that way? Because maybe there are truly feelings there. And I don't want you guys to just shut yourselves out. Like, if you 100% don't know, like if you 100% think or believe that you're lesbian or gay or bi or whatever it is, wherever you fall in the spectrum, if you honestly believe that, you know, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like because we believe in this so wholeheartedly, and we say, and we have our eyes and mind and everything set on the fact that we are what we are, or what we label ourselves to be, again with the labels, I feel like just because of that, we automatically think that it's wrong to all of a sudden like a guy, or to all of a sudden like a girl, or to all of a sudden feel like you don't feel this way anymore. You know, it's just life. It's changing. It's going up and down and around, and life is always changing, and so are we. I feel like until you honestly wholeheartedly know that you are either truly in love with somebody, or even after that, you just never know. I just feel like now that I've seen so many people writing to me and telling me these things, like, some of us know who we are, and some of us are sure that we are one or the other, and some of us just still don't know and won't know until we meet the person that we are going to fall in love with and be with the rest of our lives. You know, it's all the unknown, and you won't know until it's your moment to come across that. But I think that in the time being, until you find that if you ever find it, if you ever, you know, come to a conclusion, I think there's no reason to come to a conclusion. I mean, if you want to if you want to have that conclusion for now, have it. You know what I mean? Like, and if somebody asks you, like, so what do you like, whatever, you just be like, you know what, I honestly just fall for whoever I fall for, and I don't really see gender, I don't really see race, I don't really see this, I don't really see that, you know, like, you just fall for love, and that's as simple as it gets. You just fall for another person, another human being with a heart. You'll just figure it out along the way. You'll just figure out how you feel, and if the feelings are there or not, and how he feels. But a lot of the times it could just be that attachment that you feel, and a lot of the times it could just be that brotherly bond that you feel, you know, and you're mixing up your signals. But only time is going to tell what's truly there. Only time is going to let you know what's really going on. And I think that in the meantime, if you both are single or whatever the case is, you could explore that, or you could just see where everything takes you, and if it's meant to be, then it's meant to be, and you guys will cross paths at that moment, and you guys could be, or you guys could not be, or you guys try things out, and maybe it doesn't work, maybe it does. But I do advise you to remember that the possibility could be there that if you guys were to try something, it might not work out, and there might be some awkwardness there. It doesn't always happen, just something to keep in mind, that it could possibly happen. It could happen. But I think that you should just allow yourself to just be. You know, there's nothing else out there that you need to do. Don't let anybody else try to make decisions for you, or tell you how you should live, or tell you how you should be, or influence you to be a certain way, or influence you to categorize yourself, or influence you to slap a label on yourself, or who you should like and who you shouldn't. You do you do your own. You are in charge of your heart, your feelings, everything like that, and do what makes you happy, and do what makes you genuinely happy, and you'll be okay. And don't worry about putting a label on yourself. Don't worry about just making others happy when you're not happy. I think in the meantime, we're always changing, we're always evolving, and some of us will not 100% know whether we like a certain gender or not, and who we are. I mean, we are always constantly growing into our skin. I don't know if it ever stops. I think we're always just changing and changing up the mold of our lives and who we are as a person, and We're always becoming the better version of us, and I think that that's all you have to worry about is just becoming the better version of you and forgetting about the rest and just enjoying life and just laughing and smiling and loving and just enjoying the little things in life. I think that's the most important, and I think that that's something that we cannot forget about. So, with that being said, forget about labeling yourself. Forget about all that. If you want to, go right ahead. You're at your every right to do so. If you don't want to, if you don't feel comfortable, whatever it is, the good news is that you don't have to do any of that. Just be you and be happy. That's all I've got for you today. These 3 questions were very quick, very to the point, I guess you could say. Thank you so much for joining me for #AskStacyLive number 4. Yeah, I'm heading out. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please show that like button, a little bit of romance. If you're not subscribed and you'd really like to, please give that like button a little love tap. And please don't forget to show all of my social medias a little bit of affection with a follow. And if there's one thing I want to call to mind, there are actually 3. No matter the highs, the lows, always be sure, always be certain to do good, be grateful, and stay humble.